Okay, here I am in a right knee. This is the inside aspect or the medial aspect of the knee, and I'm going in to do a meniscus repair. The black sleeve is a plastic sleeve, and on the tip of that a needle comes out. The needle actually can deploy multiple plastic anchors, so I'm going to pierce through the meniscus. There is a tear there about 2 centimeters. I'm going to push through all the way to the back of the meniscus and into the knee capsule, and I'm outside the joint. I'll be firing a trigger, and then that trigger deploys the anchor, and attached to that anchor is a braided suture that is non-absorbable, and you can see I'm pulling back the suture and exposing about 2 centimeters of suture, giving it a little bit of slack. Now you can see the second plastic anchor that I'm deploying. The plastic black sleeve actually acts as a depth stop. It will pierce through and then stop at about 15 millimeters, which is how deep it is from the surface of the meniscus back to the knee capsule. So I've cut that so that I have a depth stop of 15 millimeters. Now I've pierced through a second time. I've pulled the trigger on the outside of the knee, which you obviously can't see, and I've deployed that second anchor. And then when I pull back the sleeve this time, you'll see that I have some suture, and I'm going to pull almost like you're fighting a fish. I'm pulling, and it's going to cinch down the stitch, pulling the meniscus tear together at its interval. So here I am pulling it back. There's my needle. I am going to deploy 1/3 anchor, but before I do that, I'm going to pull tension, and you'll be able to see this cinch down in just 1 second. I'm pulling, and now you'll see it begin to tighten, and then I'll cinch it down, and the meniscus pulls snug into the back. Really, really a very, very nice repair pulling that together. And again, it's about a 2 centimeter tear. So what I'm doing at this point, giving it one last tug, and then I'm going to move over another 8 to 10 millimeters. And the needle has a bit of a curve on it, so you can aim and deploy these anchors in a couple of different directions. Again, this looks very large in the camera, but it's really only about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters of anchor in a very small stitch. So here's my final anchor being deployed, pushing through again all the way down to the black depth stop. And then I'm going to pull that back once I've pulled the trigger, deployed the anchor, and then I'll pull on that and cinch that second stitch down. In just a moment, I'll be going into the knee with a probe, and I'll be showing you that it really, really repairs this meniscus very, very nice. This is a product by ConMed. They make excellent arthroscopic tools for use. All right, so now I'm pulling again. There's a cinching down. I'm just pulling gentle pressure until I feel it pull together at the interval tear until I feel comfortable that it's tight, and it is very, very tight. So then I bring the needle all the way out of the knee, and I will attach a little cutting device, and you just basically put that on and slide it down into the knee, pull the trigger, and it cuts the stitch very nice. The meniscus tears that are repairable are actually very peripheral tears. Ones that are more central you have to remove. This is a far peripheral tear. So now I've cut my stitch, and I'm going to put in a probe. This is a little 3 millimeter hook probe, and I'll show you the stitch. There's one side, and then I'll show you the other side. There it is under there. 3 anchors, 2 what we call horizontal mattress sutures. Repairs the meniscus very, very well. I'm pulling on it just to make sure everything is nice and solid, and that will heal in approximately 6 weeks, but really a very, very pretty repair, a very nice tool to do this with.